Now we're going to begin our search for valid propositional logic patterns of argument with our first example, which was either the American or the National League wins. Since the American League did not win, the National League did. And in this case, the conclusion is the National League won. Now, what are the premises? One premise is either the American League wins or the National League wins. The American League did not win is the second premise. The conclusion follows from that. Now, I want to take a look at kind of the form, the pattern of the argument. So let's take a look at it. Notice we have the first premise, either the American League won or the National League won. It's not the case the American League won, therefore the National League won. So we have the American League won, and we have the American League won in that same place. We have the National League won. We're going to put the ellipse around it. Or the National League won. Okay, and now we're beginning to see the pattern. Notice either something or something else. Not the case the first thing, therefore the second thing. Replace those, the American League won, or the rectangles now with P's, representing the proposition. The National League won, or the ellipse is the turn circles with the letter Q. So we see that the pattern in inference is first premise P or Q, second premise not P, therefore Q. And what we have here is an argument that's known as disjunctive syllogism, or sometimes known as argument by elimination. You should probably know those two terms. By the way, syllogism, and we're going to hear that a couple of times. Now, syllogism is basically an inference from two premises to a conclusion. So the syllogism is this inference of premise 1 and premise 2 here, from premise 1, premise 2 to the conclusion that which is 3. It's a disjunctive syllogism. And one thing that's clear is this is logically a very strong inference. It is a good pattern of inference, and it is one of our valid forms of inference. And in the second, I'm going to try to introduce a new concept, that of a truth table, to try to explain in general how our patterns of argument, our good inferences, our logically strong, or our what Feldman calls our well-formed patterns are, and how they work. So we'll be looking at truth tables in a second to try to give us some more insight into these valid forms of inference.